Well, we've had worse nights in the Champions League, haven't we, people? Real Madrid 1, Arsenal 2. We are heading to Paris, people. Declan Rice with another masterclass of a performance. Man of the match. World class. One of the best number sixes in the world. I don't care what he's done in the last two games against Real Madrid. Is unbelievable. It's taken his game to a whole new level. I actually think he was better tonight than he was in the first leg. I know in the first leg he scored 2 goals, but I actually think he was better tonight. His all-round performance, man, in that kind of 6 role, he did join in a little bit, but what a performance. What a night to be an Arsenal fan, people. Saka. Saka, Saka, Saka. The celebration. The Thierry Henry celebration. And then he drops that on the Real Madrid fans. And you're just like, okay. Saka had a crazy moment tonight. He misses a penalty. He misses a penalty. And for me, it was probably... On one hand, you've got to respect him for being so brave. But when you do a Panenka and miss... You've got to realise you're going to get annihilated because people are going to say it's a selfish decision that you've made to try and elevate yourself rather than just thinking, let me just score the penalty. Now, the crazy thing is 2 things. I think the way he hits it, he changes his mind as he's hitting it. He's in 2 minds. Number 1 rule of penalties is know where you're putting it before you run up to the ball. Number 2, if he'd have just Panenka'd it down the middle, he would have embarrassed Courtois because Courtois had jumped out the way, but unfortunately, he put it to the right. Courtois guessed the right way and saved the penalty. And we're thinking, Saka, it's not a good night for you, my friend. However, in the second half, we get redemption because he chips the goalkeeper, Courtois. He shushes, does the Thierry Henry celebration, and then does the celebration. And I'm like, what a player. 75% fit, got Alaba booked. Chips Courtois. Cooked Alaba in the first leg. What a player. What a player he is. Shout out Mikel Merino. 2 assists. 2 games against Madrid. You score a cracker in the first game. 2 assists in the second game. We got to look at... Merino's a better striker for us than Havertz and Jesus. They cost £110 million. Imagine if we had a proper gunman goal scorer up front as well. Martinelli's goal is outstanding as well. Merino, the weight of pass. Martinelli runs away. Fran Garcia's just come on. Martinelli's played 90 minutes, a whole heap of defending. And he outpaces him, burns him. Fran Garcia gives up. And he just does the Thierry Henry celebration into the bottom... Henry finish, sorry. Into the bottom corner. And then does the knee slide. And you're like... Okay. We're serious. Saliba, momentary lapse of concentration. Poor. Poor for a player of your standard. You're lucky we won the game because if we hadn't won, I'd be going crazy right now. But Saliba's class, but you can't do that. You've got to learn from that. You're not going to get that much time. Shout out to Jakub Kiwior. Is the Kiwi ripe? The Kiwi was ripe tonight. 2 performances from Kiwior, a player that I said get rid of this guy in the summer. He might have just rescued his Arsenal career in the last 2 games and proved that there's a really good defender there if given time. The one thing I've always said about Kiwior is it's difficult to make a full judgment of him when he's probably played more games at left-back than centre-back. Since coming in at centre-back, he's been excellent. Fair play to him. Brilliant performance. Lewis Skelly, 18 years of age, so much confidence, so much quality on the ball. Got caught once, but 18, bro. It's going to happen. What a player. The future's bright for him. He could end up being England's left back. You then look at Timber, one of the best right backs in the world for me. I know he doesn't get the numbers that Hakimi gets going forward, but I want a fullback who can defend. And there aren't many right backs that defend better than Timber. Now, I know Vinny scored tonight, but that had nothing to do with him. That was Saliba's mistake. He's actually handled Vinicius for 180 minutes. He's kept him quiet, really. One of the best 1v1 wingers on the planet. What a right back. Raya was solid again in goal. Did what he needed to do. Fair play to him. Declan Rice, back-to-back man-of-the-match performances against Real Madrid. And as I said, for me, he was even better this week than he was last week. Let's talk about the two slight constructive criticism negatives of today. Odegaard again. Not at the performance level that we want. Slightly better in the second half. Couple nice passes. But first half, he was absolutely awful. And as I've said before, he needs competition. He needs more pressure. Talented player, no doubt about it, but the performances are nowhere near good enough. We're now trying to win a Champions League. We can't afford to carry Martin Odegaard. I don't care if he's the captain. If he's not playing well enough, he needs to be dropped. He needs to figure out what's going wrong. He needs to do more. And the second part is Thomas Partey getting a silly yellow card, drawn into the dark arts with Rudiger, and picks up a stupid yellow card that suspends him for the first leg against PSG. And again, Partey was excellent tonight in terms of his performance. What do we do for that PSG game? Do you bring in Zinchenko? Do you push Lewis Skelly into midfield and play Tierney? Will he play Calafiori at left back? Or do you drop Marino into midfield and put Trossard up front? What would you guys do? Personally, I think I'd play Zinchenko in midfield and keep the stability. Just so you don't have to change much. Leave Marino up front. Leave Lewis Skelly at left back. I'd probably put Zinni in midfield. I think he's got the quality. He did well against PSV. And I thought he played quite well at the weekend as well. But we'll deal with that when the time comes. We are in the Champions League semi-final for only the third time in our history. Well done to Mikel Arteta. You've seen off Ancelotti. You've seen off Real Madrid. Now, we've got to look forwards rather than looking backwards. Enjoy the Real Madrid win. We'll talk about it for days in the content. But the belief of that football club now has got to be, can we create history? We're 3 games away from putting a star above the badge and taking the ammunition away from all the ops who've always said, yeah, but you ain't won a Champions League. We've seen Chelsea win the Champions League when it was nowhere near their best team. When they had Havertz and Werner and Mason Mount and these players. This is nowhere near Arsenal's best team that we've had in our history. But it's there. It's there. I think we can beat PSG. I've actually got a lot of belief. The final, who knows? Inter, Barcelona, let's see if we get there. But PSG, we've got to beat them in that first leg. Go to Paris with a lead to defend. And I think we can beat them. I think we're better than PSG. I really do. I think we will defend better than Villa. And you saw yesterday when Villa got at them, they caused them a lot of problems. Villa could have scored 5 goals yesterday easily in one game. So there's no reason Arsenal can't cause them a lot of problems. But they have something that Real Madrid don't have, and that is chemistry, especially in that front line. Doué, Kvaratskhelia and Dembele, they've got chemistry. That Real Madrid front three, brilliant individuals collectively. They're not together. Historic night for Arsenal. Beating Madrid at home was one thing. Beating them in the Bernabeu is a whole nother level. 5-1 on aggregate against the current Champions League holders. No Liverpool, no Man City, no Real Madrid, no Bayern Munich in the Champions League semi-final. We've got to win it. People say you've never won it. We've got to win it. People say Arteta's only won an FA Cup. We've got to win it. Yeah, but you've got no striker. Marino's up front. Kivior's at centre-back. We've got to win it. I don't want to be talked about as a team that won a couple of big games then got knocked out. Go and win the competition. Create history. PSG over 2 legs. First leg at home. Inter or Barca in the final. Make it happen. Great night for Arsenal. Declan Rice, man of the match. What a performance. Saka, what a goal. Redemption settings. Bob Marley, redemption song. Martinelli, what a finish. Henry-esque. Marino 2 assists. Kivior great performance. Timber, Lewis, Skelly, all of them. Brilliant. Great night to be an Arsenal fan. The Ops are devastated, people. 2 games they've been hating on us just to watch us win. What a night. Real Madrid slapped up. They closed the roof. As you guys have said, we all know Rice cooks better when the lid's on. And Rice was cooking tonight. Take care, everyone. Like the video and subscribe. Bless.